This is the talker of the day. Tonight, new information about a whole big bridge stolen from a Farmington Hills homeowner.
We've heard of cars, wallets, and mobile phones being stolen. But have you ever heard of Nutella being stolen? Or a bridge? Yes, we do mean an actual bridge. In this list of dumbest things ever stolen, you'll find many more weird things.
Police say thieves made off with 5.5 tons of Nutella.
Number 10. The Great Gastronomic Robbery. This might be the first time you're hearing about Nutella being stolen. However, in 2017, 5 tons of the hazelnut spread that everyone is crazy about was stolen from a parked truck trailer in Bad Hersfeld, Germany. Although the town is mostly known for its spas and festivals and not for its crimes, it was reported in The Guardian that the heist equaled a rough amount of $18,000 or 6,875 jars. Imagine 2 medium-sized elephants made of Nutella, and you'll know how much was stolen. Stealing a jar to satisfy any cravings you might be having is still understandable. But what are you going to do with 6,875 jars of hazelnut spread? The thief must really like chocolate. The heist came less than a fortnight after a coffee raid worth 25,000 pounds had hit the town. Not to mention the truckload of Red Bull that disappeared as well. Police are pursuing the theory that all of these crimes have been committed by the same insomniac.
This is the talker of the day. Tonight, new information about a whole big bridge stolen from a Farmington Hills homeowner.
Number 9. The Stolen Bridge. If you're looking to snag a bridge, that's not unusual at all. Here's a pro tip for you. Act like you've been hired to remove it. Not only does it work for bridges in particular, but everything large. This strategy was used by a group of metal scrappers in the Czech Republic who got away with dismantling a 10-ton bridge in Slavkov back in 2012. One crook from the group came up with the idea to fake being an engineer and made up a story about a cycle route coming through, which the locals easily bought. They even came prepared with forged documents. Talk about giving it your all. Surprisingly, the bridge was never recovered, although it's suspected that the bridge has been sold as scrap metal after being broken down into pieces. However, this isn't the first time a bridge was stolen. A 36-foot steel bridge in the Ukraine was also stolen in 2004. Not to mention the crafty thieves who tore apart a 50-foot bridge in Pennsylvania, removing $100,000 worth of steel. Number 8. Toes. Yes, you heard that right. We do mean toes. A guy in New Zealand decided to take home a little souvenir from the Auckland exhibit, displaying human corpses and organs. Can you guess what it was? The guy in question managed to swipe 2 dead toes off a cadaver. These dead toes are valued at $5,500, and that's according to court documents, and since then have been returned to the exhibit. Toes worth $5,500? No wonder the poor guy saw his chance and took it. The man was charged with a crime and with improperly interfering with the dead body of an unknown person. The accused pled guilty to both charges and was remanded on bail. Number 7. Ice Ice Baby. The glaciers in Patagonia are a bucket list trip for many people, and most of these people are in a hurry to see them before they melt away, as according to scientists, George Mont is one of the world's fastest shrinking glaciers. But finding out that someone actually yearned to steal them did not cross their minds. But that's exactly what happened in 2012. When a Chilean entrepreneur with a refrigerated truck decided to illegally take 5 tons of ice culled from Patagonia's George Mont inside Bernardo O'Higgins' National Park. He had his eye on a small business venture and planned to sell the ice as designer ice cubes to bars. And then we say innovation is dead. The man was arrested on suspicion of stealing 5 tons of ice. And not only was he accused of theft, but the authorities also considered adding violation of national monuments to the charge sheet.
Hey, yeah.
Number 6. This is bull. The dumbest and the weirdest thing ever stolen had to be 3 tanks of, wait for it, bull semen, stolen from a truck parked in Turlock, California back in 2016. But it wasn't just any sperm. The stolen sperm belonged to the top 1% of the bull industry worldwide, and with one of the bulls being the 5th best in the world. It was worth an estimated $50,000. And yes, this is still bull semen we're talking about. This highly valued semen is collected 2 to 3 times a week and is shipped across the world for the purpose of impregnating cattle, with a livelihood of many people depending on it. Falling into the wrong hands can cause some major trouble. Number 5. The cheesiest heist we have ever seen. We can never say no to cheese, but how much cheese does one person actually need? And who has enough cold storage to store 20,000 pounds of cheese? Yes, 20,000 pounds of cheese worth $46,000. It was stolen from a semi-trailer in 2017, and naturally, this crime was committed in Cheesehead County, as the truck traveled the 130-mile route from Green Bay, Wisconsin to the Milwaukee area. The driver had pulled over to have his truck serviced. He left the semi-trailer in what he thought was a secure storage facility, according to the Post-Crescent reports. However, investigators believe that this case is linked to other Wisconsin cheese heists in recent years. For something as delicious as cheese to be valued at $46,000, we can somewhat understand why someone would steal it. Number 4. The famous brain. We all know Albert Einstein's brain was truly otherworldly. According to BBC, while the most genius man in the history of this planet passed away, Thomas Stoltz Harvey, the pathologist who performed Einstein's autopsy, took the liberty to remove and keep the famed theoretical physicist's brain. Preserving one of the greatest brains in history is understandable enough, that is, if Einstein had given permission. But the late genius had asked to be cremated, with the ashes scattered secretly so that the site wouldn't be considered special. Moreover, when Einstein's son Hans Albert found out what Thomas had done, he was furious. But Thomas ended up convincing Albert that he wanted it for scientific research. Thomas kept the brain for years, stored in a mason jar in a beer cooler until he was called out by a reporter. Today, you can view pieces of Einstein's brain at the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia. Number 3. MIA lawn. It's one thing for people to steal lawn decorations, but what are you to do if your lawn itself is MIA? That's exactly what happened when a woman residing in Alberta, Canada, returned home after a vacation in 2011. What previously was a grassy lawn had now been turned into a pile of dirt, according to Calgary Herald reports. Eventually, the thief who stole the lawn confessed. It turns out, a hired landscaper had gone to the wrong address and messed up the lady's lawn, thinking that's what he was hired to do. And when the woman returned home, it looked like someone had moved her lawn to someplace else. The landscaper did leave a sheepish note the next day. He explained the situation and even offered to replace the grass.
Pull up tight on the inside of the rim. There you go. It's open.
Number 2. Weird manholes. In Los Angeles back in 1990, detectives were dumbfounded when manholes around the city started disappearing. And it wasn't just one neighborhood or city, it was the entire Los Angeles area. As it would, driving and bicycling was made extremely difficult, not to mention dangerous. However, 2 young men were busted when they pulled into a scrap metal yard trying to sell a fraction of those manholes. They had the police waiting for them on a stakeout, who immediately pulled aside a beat-up Toyota pickup truck which contained what they were looking for. More than a ton of catch basin covers and storm drain gates that were concealed by layers of cardboard and broken bed frames. Like you would expect, the 2 young men were just looking to make some cold hard cash with the manholes. But you have to applaud their creativity. Who would have thought of stealing manholes from the roads and selling them for cash? Number 1. Napoleon's most private possession. If you thought stealing Albert Einstein's brain was weird, wait till you hear about this. While we still can't wrap our head around someone wanting to steal dead toes from a cadaver or an actual brain, this one baffles us the most. According to Time, Napoleon Bonaparte's penis was taken during his 1821 autopsy. The person performing the autopsy later gave it to a Corsican priest. However, that's not where the story ends. The last known ownership of Napoleon's most prized possession was in 2007, when a daughter inherited her father's most precious item. This was, of course, Napoleon's penis, which he had bought for $3,000. The daughter has reportedly had at least one offer of $100,000 from an interested buyer. And that's a wrap on dumbest things ever stolen. What do you think about the relevant question to the video? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.